Hi everyone, my name's Dahlia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about the books that I read last month in June. And I'm just going to get right into it. So I have my list of books here that I read, and I only read 4 books last month, and it was kind of disappointing because I did want to get to read more, especially since June was Pride Month. I wanted to read a lot more LGBTQIA+ books, and I didn't get the opportunity to read everything that I wanted. Plus, I didn't even know where to start, and so I literally just read like what I was in the mood for, and then I don't know, I was kind of in a sluggish reading mood too throughout that month, and so basically I didn't get to read as much as I wanted to. But yeah, the first book that I picked up in June was A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. And I don't know why I picked this book up, because originally I did not want to read it. I've read her Throne of Glass series, and I've enjoyed it, and I've already mentioned in my previous videos how some of what Sarah J. Maas incorporates into her writing is problematic. So knowing that, I didn't want to continue on reading like her other books and her other series, including this one. I think this is the only other one she has. But I don't know, then I just picked it up because I had just finished like Empire of Storms, and I was kind of in like this bookish hangover. So I read it, and I really didn't like it. I just thought that the plot line fell a little flat for me. It was kind of boring and slow, and I didn't really connect with any of the characters. I didn't connect with Feyre. I didn't connect with Tamlin and Lucien, or I don't remember who else was in the book. Rhysand. Like, I don't know. I just didn't connect to the book that well. It was just very slow for me, and yeah, there's just a lot of things I just didn't like. I like the whole fairy element, and it was like based off Beauty and the Beast, which like it felt like almost exactly like how the Beauty and the Beast story goes. And I don't know, Feyre just kind of rubbed off as a little like naive to me. And I don't know, I mean, I didn't love her, I didn't hate her. I just didn't really have the patience to like continue on with the other 2 books, and I did start A Court of Mist and Fury. I think that's the second one, and I probably got like 10 pages in, and then I DNF'd it. So I borrowed it from the library, as I borrowed this one from the library. So basically, I'm not going to be continuing on with that trilogy. I know a lot of people love it, but honestly, I'm over it. Like, I don't really care, so sorry if you like this book, but I don't really feel bad about it. The next book that I read in June is This Book is Gay by Juno Dawson, and I first heard about this book, I think, on the Irish Readers channel. His name's Kevin, and he's great. You should check his channel out. But he was basically, I think, doing like a recommendation videos of like LGBTQ plus reads, and he mentioned this book as like one of the first books he mentioned on that list, and it kind of intrigued me because basically it's nonfiction. It's kind of like it kind of introduces you to LGBTQ terms, and like, you know, basically explaining what it means to be gay, what it means to be lesbian. He gives very brief definitions of like what it means to be like bisexual and transgender, and you know, it's also a great book if you're like questioning your sexuality. And so I guess it's like a good starting point for people who are interested in that stuff and like open to learning more. It is very general, I would say. It's not like super specific, but as I said, it's probably a good starting point. And I did give this a 4 out of 5 stars, only because as I said, I really enjoyed it. It was a really fast read for me, and I was really fascinated with everything. But I feel like it was still not like super inclusive of a bunch of other like labels. Like, in the beginning it says that it's going to talk about like, intersex and, basically other identities besides just being gay and lesbian. And like, I feel like for the most part it mostly just talked about like gay and lesbian identity, and which is not a bad thing, but I feel like if it's said it's going to be more like, inclusive, it's going to touch on the other sexualities, and it didn't really. So there's that kind of factor that I was kind of like looking forward to, but then it didn't deliver on that. And so yeah, but other than that, this was a great read and I do recommend it. Then the next book I read was The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Man, she's just popping up a lot here. And I gave the whole thing about 3 out of 5 stars. And I liked it. Like, I liked learning more about Selena when she was an assassin. I just thought that there was going to be more, like, assassinating happening, and there wasn't. It was like, I think there's like 5 or 6 stories, and you get to meet Sam, which is great, but I don't know, like, I wanted to see more like action and assassinating, and I was kind of disappointed in that sense. But I mean, it was interesting to see like her relationship with Arabin and stuff, and how she became to be in the place she is at in the beginning of Throne of Glass, so that was interesting. And yeah, then the next book that I read was The Game of Thrones, or A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, and I love this book so much. Basically, this is a fantasy book for adults. It has a great, huge cast of characters. It takes place in this world where winters can last years and summers can be very short, and vice versa. And there are a bunch of families and like politics, and it's just so great. Like, I guess a good way to like categorize it is like a medieval high fantasy story, or political medieval high fantasy, or something like that. And I thought it would be hard to follow and understand just because of its great cast of characters and everything that would be going on, plus its length. And it actually wasn't so hard to get into, and once I started getting the hang of who everybody was, which, like only took maybe the like first 100 pages, because it also comes with an appendix that like I realized actually helped my reading a lot. Like, I flew through this book like once I started getting the hang of everything, and now I'm on the second book and I love it so much too. And oh my god, yeah. I also made a review about this book, more like a book talk, because this is kind of a hard book to review, if you see how long this thing is. But I'll leave a link for that if you want to see my complete thoughts about it. Yeah, those are the books that I read in June. So, thank you for watching, and yeah, I hope you have a great reading month in July, because I know I'm a little bit of a struggle in here, but hopefully it gets better, because it's only been halfway through July, so yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you all have a very good day.